Hi and welcome to the Mindwalker Method. I'm your host, Tony Wake, and thank you for joining me on this special edition episode, if you want to call it that. If you've been following me on social media and you've been subscribed to my newsletters, you can find me at the Tony Wake on all social media platforms. Perhaps you've signed up for my newsletter on my website, tonywake.com. But either way, if you've been following me and my work for the past few years, you'll know that my main aim in life is human evolution in a way, human potential, tapping into that underlying potential that all of us as people have, to motivate people, to get them so empowered, to get them that extra step closer to living a life of true freedom, true empowerment, a life that's truly lived with passion. Now this episode is special because I'm opening up in a way. I'm going to be sharing with you some of my thoughts and my emotions. Because with the current mass hypnosis that has been going on with regards to the pandemic across the world and the mass hysteria that has come from it, there are so many things that are so wrong in the world. And I turn to my mentors and I turn to those whom I learned from in the fields of neurolinguistic programming and hypnosis and motivation and coaching and personal empowerment and human potential. And I noticed that all of us are sitting in the same situation. We want to empower the masses. We want to teach the masses. We want to show them that there's so much more that they're not seeing, so much that they're not living. But this overwhelming sense of fear, this overwhelming sense of separation is breaking the morale of not only individuals, but of complete communities. Now, it all stems from fear. Now, within the world of hypnosis, fear and shock is an instant induction. Induction means to go into a trance state. Recently, when I was part of the Hypnosis Summit with Glenn Jones and the wonderful team of Hypnosis Summit, so many of the teachers and trainers there kept on reiterating how when the hypnotee, the one who's going to be hypnotized, expects to be hypnotized, they go into a trance so much quicker. Which means hypnosis is always self-induced in a way. Now, taking that concept, that idea, and applying it on a global scale, what is fear? This fear that everybody is experiencing with regards to the pandemic, with regards to are you vaccinated or unvaccinated? Are you pro or against? Are you going to infect anyone else, or are you going to quietly sit and die in your own home all by yourself? A lot of the clients that I've seen lately have this mentality. They're like, well, I'm either going to live or I'm going to die. It's just the way it is. And if I'm going to die, I hope it goes quickly. But the fear that is stretching across the world is doing so much more harm than just getting people into a state of depression. It's opening them up for mass hypnosis. And we see it happening everywhere across the world. Now let me start by asking you a few questions. Who were you before society told you who you should be? Who were you before fear crept into your mind and started corrupting the thoughts within you to force you to begin to behave in ways that you never thought possible? Who were you before the world told you who to judge, who to hate? Who were you when all you knew was love and acceptance? Because we all start out as infants. And as an infant, no one is judging another. No one is recognizing the difference in skin color or the difference in religion or the difference in if you're vaccinated or unvaccinated. Who were you before race and religion and fear and judgment started separating you from the rest of the world? Who were you? Because if you look at it from any aspect, there are only two core emotions, two core states. You are either in a state of love or you are in a state of fear. Now, love lets you grow. Love lets you open up. Love lets you accept. Love lets you understand. Love lets you grow. Fear, fear breaks you down. Fear lets you retract. Fear lets you judge. Fear lets you blame. Fear lets you hate. Fear eventually lets you die. So which state are you in? Are you in a state of love? Are you in a state of acceptance? Are you in a state of understanding? Can you look to the person next to you, or to the person who you commute with, or even people in your own family, and tell them, I love you. Regardless of your own choices, I love you. Or do you judge them? Oh, if you're not vaccinated, then I don't want to even let you close to me, and society tells me that I should hate you because you're not vaccinated, and you're part of the problem because you're not vaccinated, or because you're part of this religion or that religion, or because you're doing this or doing that. All this judgment that is going on stems from a place of fear, which means as long as you are fearing, you are not just judging others, but you are judging yourself. Because you cannot judge another without first judging yourself, because all judgment is comparison. And what are you comparing anyone or anything else to? What is good? What is bad? What should? What shouldn't? What is nice? What is not? What is love? What is hate? What is acceptable? What is not? It's all levels of judgment. And who are you judging before you can judge anyone else? Yourself. Because you are first judging yourself to get a concept and a sense of self. And then based on that sense, based on that foundation, now you begin to judge anyone and everything else. So something is only good or bad or right or wrong or acceptable or not according to you and what you've decided is right or wrong or good or bad or acceptable or not. And ask yourself, all of these rules, all of these judgments that you are passing on to others, where did you learn them? Where did they come from? Did those who taught those judgments to you, have they always been right? Did they never falter? Did they never make a mistake? Because based on their experience, things were right or wrong or good or bad. But times change. People change. You have changed. This pandemic has affected all of us in different ways. You need to decide not just where you are and where you're heading, but who are you and who will you become? Are you going to continue judging? Are you going to continue demolishing your own personality based on what society expects you to be? On what society deems as right or wrong, or good or bad, or acceptable or not? Or are you going to make your own mind up? Are you going to think for yourself? Because the thing that happens in hypnosis is once the critical faculty is bypassed, that critical thinking, the judgment aspect of the mind, once that is bypassed, you go into a hypnotic state and everything is accepted. Everything is just absorbed and taken as truth. And I see so many people that are just sitting back and accepting what is being given to them. They have no sense of critical thinking anymore. They don't do their own research. They don't look at the deeper meanings behind what is happening. They just take what the media is giving them. So now ask yourself, are you just going to take what is given to you? Are you just going to accept it without judging it? Are you just going to take that information? Or are you going to look at it through your own eyes, through your own experience, through your own understanding? Are you going to do your own research? Are you going to find out according to you, not according to anyone else, according to you, what is right and what is wrong? What is acceptable and what is not? Where do your values lie? What happened to your values? Not the values that the world have taught to you. Not the values that everyone else is expecting you to have, but your own core values. What happened to those? Did they just magically disappear? Or were they hypnotized and suggested out of you? Now, just like in a hypnosis show, once someone is in a hypnotic trance state and they've accepted one or two suggestions from the hypnotist, once that occurs, whatever the hypnotist suggests to them gets absorbed and they perform it. Now, the same way in society at the moment, there's been a mass hypnosis. People started accepting one or two things that were suggested to them. Social distancing, and then the face masks, and then only a certain amount of people in a space. And it's slowly been increasing. It's slowly been getting worse. More and more suggestions are being given, and mass hypnosis has occurred. And if you are not thinking critically, if you are just switching on the TV or picking up the newspaper or reading on social media, oh, this is the next installment. This is the next thing that's going to be expected of us. Oh, this is just what they say that we should or shouldn't do. Let's just play along. As long as you are not thinking for yourself, that means someone else is thinking for you. If you are not taking control of your own mind, it means someone else has taken control of your mind. So do you have a critical factor? Do you think critically? Do you stop for a moment and question, is this suggestion, is this command, is this instruction, is it right according to me? Does it fit into my values? Do I feel comfortable with this? Or am I just going along with the flow because it's expected of me? Do you criticize the judgment of others? Or do you just accept the instructions as given? So think for yourself. Question everything. As long as you question, truth will prevail. Because those who don't want you to question, they have something to hide. Because with the moment you begin to question, the facade will fall away. And the moment the facade falls away, the truth will be revealed. Judge the system. Don't judge those around you. Judge what is occurring. Judge the behavior. Don't judge the person. You're either coming from a place of fear or you're coming from a place of love. And that decision is yours and yours alone. But there's a world of knowledge and information out there that is being ignored because people choose to turn a blind eye to it. So they're choosing ignorance over freedom. They're choosing control over themselves instead of control for themselves. They are choosing to be slaves instead of choosing to be free. Are you one of them? Are you part of those who want to be enslaved? Or are you a free thinker, a critical thinker, someone that is not going to be controlled, but is choosing to love those around and stand together in order to have a harmonious life?